Welcome to the Hard Knocks Sorority Podcast, a Shadowrun 4th Edition actual play podcast. My name is Paul, and I am your host and GM. The player characters are given voice and agency by Veronica, playing Cecile, aka College Girl, a literal college girl who finds herself abruptly entangled with the Sixth World's shadows. Elizabeth, playing Grace, aka Nightingale, a literal pony on a quixotic self-imposed research expedition to the Sixth World. Valerie, playing Ollie, aka Boxer, ex-merc and literal Catwoman who now plies the shadows in search of redemption. And finally, Kat, playing Deandra, an elven ex-cop who is in search of her brother in Seattle and is literally prettier than any elf has any right to be. Follow along as we muddle our way through the Shadowrun 4th Edition rules. Please feel free to contact us on the Hard Knocks Sorority website.
Hoi chummers, this is Zach Flash with KSAF, your last bastion of free and independent news in Seattle. Stick with us, chummers, as we bring you the breaking news of an attempted terrorist kidnapping in the very heart of our beloved Metroplex. You heard that right, Ome, right here in downtown Seattle. Shadowrunners, or terrorists, depending on your view of the Sixth World, attempted to kidnap a highly qualified research assistant employed by one of our favorite corporate overlords, Evo, at their Washington U research facility. We are saddened to report that this promising young woman's career was cut short in a blaze of terrorist gunfire. More details at the top of the hour. Signing off, this is Zach Flash with KSAF, bringing you my favorite rock opera, Mother of the Sea by Shieldwall.
The scene opens up in an opulent office, high in the Seattle skyline. Floor-to-ceiling windows on one wall provide views of Puget Sound and Council Island. The walls appear to be clad in real wood paneling of a deep red color and are lined with shelves populated with books and curios. The floor is covered in a deep cream-colored carpet, while the ceiling is covered in a single piece of translucent white material with the luster of jade. It is backlit and diffuses an even warm light across the room. Lush plants stand in the far corners of the room, and at its center sits a massive desk, with a slate tabletop and a cabinet made of the same wood as the wall paneling. The chair behind the desk has a tall back and is turned towards the view of the sound. A soft chime echoes through the room, and a section of the paneling slides away. A woman of Asian descent steps through the opening and approaches within a meter of the desk. She stops. Her hands are clasped behind her back and her head is bowed. A male voice speaks from behind the high back of the chair. "How did this happen, Alice?" The woman starts to speak, but the man in the chair raises a hand and silences her with a gesture. The hand is that of a human male. The skin is fair, but appears thin and fragile. "You were confident the girl was acting alone, and now I hear that she has escaped, assisted by several accomplices who brazenly snatched her from your grasp." The woman bows deeply towards the chair. "I was wrong," she says simply. The man in the chair responds with a dry laugh. "Indeed. Well, forewarned is forearmed, or so it is said. You'll find her and her team and learn who their employer is. There can be no more underestimating the gravity of this intrusion, Alice." Alice straightens. "May I ask what is in the files this girl Cecile accessed? It might help me analyze the threat vector." "The content of the files is irrelevant. It is history and should remain so." The man in the chair responds. "Take them alive. At a minimum, this Cecile. Maximum effort, Alice. Leave no stone unturned." Alice responds. "It will be so." She bows again and begins walking towards the door. As she passes through the opening, the man behind the desk says, "With your shield or on it, Alice." Her step hesitates briefly, and then the door closes softly behind her. The camera pans out across the city, swoops down into the streets of Seattle, where we see a motorcycle with two people on it speeding through the traffic, followed closely by a large van. "All right, you guys, you're up. When we left off, you had snatched Cecile from the from the limousine, and Boxer, you had thrown a smoke grenade to obscure your escape, and now you're dodging and weaving through traffic, headed where?
A
Right.
map. That's me. Where's the Seattle map? Not here. Okay. So, what Boxer's doing is she's trying to hit multiple different corporate or jurisdictional areas to throw off any pursuit or at least make it take longer. Basically, she's taking advantage of data balkanization so that she's going to areas where the monitoring systems are divided between different entities that will have to go through bureaucratic processes, etc.
Does Boxer use AR?
Yes,
Is it glasses or goggles, or is it
cyber
cyber?
eyes.
Cyber eyes. Okay. So you pull up you've got a map of Seattle and the various jurisdictions brought up in your AR. And are you sharing the feed with Grace, who's following you?
Yes.
Okay. So Grace, you get that in your. How are you in AR again?
Um, Grace doesn't have AR glasses or anything, so I suppose the info would have to go to her comm link.
It could
Okay.
also be superimposed on the car, right? I mean, it'd
Yes.
have smart window.
Exactly. So
Okay.
you've got it transmitted from Boxer's feed onto your heads-up display on the windshield, and
Okay.
Boxer, I believe Kirsten had given you a destination of a nightclub or a club in Auburn to head towards.
You've given us both that.
Okay. So Grace, you're driving the van. Boxer, you're on your motorcycle plotting a route through the multiple corporate districts in Seattle. And Cecile, what are you doing?
Cecile is not quite hyperventilating, you know, but she looks shaken and is just quiet.
Yeah, you find yourself in a van with what appears to be a small horse or pony, which in some ways resembles a paracreature you've heard of before, a unicorn. And this unicorn, this small horse, appears to be driving the van without any real physical input.
Yeah, Cecile's just quiet and like she has her feet up on the seat and her arms around her legs, just kind of like, no. She's coming down from a lot of adrenaline.
Grace is just happy that she has stopped screaming.
I'm trying to open the door and jump out.
Yeah.
That would have been awkward.
Very.
You rescued her only for her to run away from you.
I imagine Kirsten would also be talking to her still. Or
Are they?
um, they are not at the moment. Cecile did rescue her comlink from Alice's hands. So Cecile does have her comlink on her at this time. Boxer, do you have any navigation skills?
let me check this. I do not believe no. No.
All
Oh,
right. Let's make just a logic and intuition.
all right. Two.
I should
All right.
also say, if Grace or anyone else were to look closely at Cecile, she has like around her fingertips a bit of like a blackness to her flesh, like a poison is setting in.
Whoa.
I can just set the car to drive, right? It can do that, right?
You'd have to set it to follow. You're gonna set it to follow Boxer, right?
I was thinking set it to go to the address that I'd been given.
Okay, so you're just gonna go straight there.
Well, I had already pulled off and done some evasive driving through. Sure, just set it to follow Boxer. Sure.
Okay, because Boxer is basically headed. Um, from downtown Seattle. Um, she's not headed through Bellevue because of the tight security, and so she's headed south from downtown towards Renton and potentially Tacoma, and then east towards Bellevue, or not Bellevue, sorry, Auburn.
Mm.
All right, you guys
Uh,
make it without further incident to Auburn, and which is your home, which is sort of your
Well,
stomping
hold
ground.
on. I want to know what's wrong with Cecile's hands before anything.
have you
Because that
noticed it?
would I have? Do you want to make? You want me to make a roll for that? Looking back at you.
Sure, make a perception test.
Okay.
I mean,
Perception.
you were driving.
I can give it to the robot. It's okay. Where is perception? What is perception?
Skill.
Okay, so
Active.
so I need a default. It looks.
No, you should have a clicky. I think everybody has a clicky for perception.
Where is it then?
It's a skill. It's an active skill.
Okay, well then what is its attribute?
Intuition.
Intuition. Oof.
Oh, okay. I guess I did not notice. But yeah, just go ahead and drive there. Take her there.
So, what was happening with your hands again, Cecile?
I'll DM you.
Okay.
Ooh.
A rare form of gangrene is setting in.
If only.
All right. So, all right. So, you don't see any signs of pursuit as you head through down the streets of downtown and into Renton, and then cutting back west towards Tacoma, um, and then into the blue collar areas of Auburn that are your stomping grounds, Boxer. This is where you live and where you have your networks. So you're aware of this club that Kirsten has given you as a destination, and it's sort of a known as it's a very blue collar club. Um, very they play a version of orcish country music, and it's the kind of place where you get a lot of line dancing and a lot of orcs in plaid shirts and cowboy hats and cowboy boots on Friday nights and Saturday nights. Um, Usually, you can count on some kind of brawl or fight happening in the parking lot, and you've heard a lot of this from your friend Vicente, who works around this area. So, but at this time of day, late morning on Tuesday, as you pull into the parking lot is empty, and the club appears to be deserted. And about 30 seconds later, Grace and pulls into the parking lot behind you with the van. Parking lot's basically just an asphalt covered space. The building that the club is housed in is a pretty mundane rectangular building. The walls are painted gray, the exterior walls. There's a big sign over the door that at night is neon lit, proclaiming the name of the club, which I haven't decided at this point. But all sorts of fake country western type um, nuances in the name.
Mm.
All right, Kirsten. We're here. I assume you have some kind of plan.
Kirsten gets off the bike, and you can tell from your experience, from your experiences in the past, in your past employment, you see this sort of that the girl's coming down off sort of the adrenaline rush and high of excitement of combat and the chase, and she's almost sort of shaking a little bit, but she's got an elated grin on her face as she says, "We did it! We did it! We rescued her!" And then she throws a big hug around you, Boxer, and then immediately pulls back when she remembers that you know, she doesn't really know you like that, but she says, "Thank you very much. I owe you one.
Mm.
So
Well, you
Cecile
do owe.
and Cecile and Grace, as you're pulling in, you see Kirsten, having hopped off the motorcycle, is sort of bouncing up and down, and then throws a quick hug around Boxer, and then backs off, and then waves towards you guys as you pull into the parking lot.
Mm. Car, unlock doors. And she says out loud.
Despite what you would imagine, Cecile does not immediately get up, but gets up very slowly and carefully.
Kirsten immediately comes running up to you. She's all effervescent with with the aftermath of the adrenaline, and obviously pleased with herself. And she grins at you, and she says, you should have taken my call, Cecile.
Yeah, sure.
I know you don't like me, but we're still friends, which is a
Ah,
very weird thing to say.
Kirsten is a weird girl. Cecile is clearly not having a conversation right now. She's just brushing everything off with like a single word response.
While Kirsten is talking at Cecile, Nightingale gets out of the car.
Kirsten just laughs and says, "You're so stubborn. God, just be happy you got out of there. That wasn't going to end well."
Oh, no, that wasn't. Those are very bad people.
Mm, indeed. But what I want to know is what makes you, she points at Cecile, with the trouble. To whom?
I'm not at all.
I doubt that.
I mean, as much as any other mage, probably.
And what else? They don't. Alright, tell me what happened. What's happened with them? Anything you have. Because,
Maybe
well,
we should go inside before we have this conversation. Just a thought.
mm,
Oh yeah. Kirsten says, "Sorry, I've got to call my friend. He's a bouncer here."
you want
Okay.
us. I
And
assume
she
there is a private space inside of there with which we can commune privately.
Well, it's locked right now. It's closed. Let me give him a quick call. She gets on her comlink, and you see her having firing text back and forth. You can tell by her eyes she's an AR. And then she looks back at you. He'll be right. He'll be right here. He lives right around the corner.
Good. Wonder if I know him.
About 2 minutes later, a large male orc comes sauntering up, dressed in a very standard working auburn style of clothes. Aside from him being an orc, there isn't that much that is stand out about him. And he Kirsten runs up to him and gives him a big hug, and he puts an arm around her, and then they walk up, and he says, "So what's going on here, chummers?"
We need a place to talk privately. And my friend here has mentioned your fine establishment as such a place.
"Oh, okay. Um, well, let me get the door unlocked. I've got the key." And he walks over to the door and unlocks it and motions you over and takes a quick look around, and then he looks at Boxer and he says, "No trouble following you, I imagine."
None.
"Okay, good. Are your vehicles? Should your vehicles be hid?"
Mm, please don't touch my bike. The
"Okay."
van, however, is up to. Actually, would the grace be visible? Sorry.
Nightingale is, I imagine she's not invisible and she's just been kind of standing there awkwardly, maybe a little bit visibly tense and anxious as this new person arrives. She's trying not to call attention to herself, but still, and obviously not engaging in the social situation now occurring. But there's a very awkward moment for her.
The orc looks over at Grace and says, "Oh, your pet's not going to make a mess in here, is she?"
No, no, she won't make a mess. You know what? Just leave the van as well.
"Okay, I just don't want any trouble around here."
Relax. If she makes any messes, I will clean up after her. All right?
Well, Oh, well, no, I was more worried about the vehicles. If you've got the heat on you, you might want to park them under cover.
Mm, I can
Nightingale
do.
just suddenly grabs her keys from one of her front pockets and tosses it at the orc.
He he looks startled, but instinctively, reflexively catches them, and then looks at Grace and then at Kirsten, and Kirsten just punches him in the shoulder and says, "Don't worry about it. It's all going to be okay. Just get the vehicles, pull them out back, and get them under the overhang."
Mm,
And he looks skeptical, and then he said, "Oh," shrugs, and all right, and he heads off for the van and climbs in and heads off. And Kirsten's got the door open for you guys, and as I imagine you guys are all going in with her.
uh, first, before that, sorry, Boxer, but takes out her comic and commands her bike to follow the van to the hidden area.
Okay.
Nightingale sighs a breath of relief as the guy steps and climbs up into her van, and she scrolls into the doorway as soon as it's open, as soon as she's, invited in by Kirsten.
The interior of the club is dark, and the lights are mostly off, except for some courtesy lights that are lit. The floor is sort of a rough hewn um, fake faux wood, made to look like faux planks, and covered in a material that's made to imitate sawdust. Um, it's very much the theme would be something like that you would imagine seeing out of a maybe the interior of a barn with the with booths. Um, Everything's upholstered in red faux leather, and the walls are adorned with sort of faux pseudo Western paraphernalia, or what in Seattle and in the Sixth World, sort of a stereotype might be of Western stuff with cacti and cow skulls and things like that of that nature. Some of the few oddities on the walls are what are probably fake taxidermied paracritters of the Southwest. But other than that, the interior of the club appears to be empty.
The
Not
seal is
exactly.
reacting and looking around as though every surface is covered in spikes. She doesn't touch anything.
Not exactly my kind of diet, but doable.
So
Nightingale, she starts and she says, "Oh, wow. I thought that this was a Native American." And then she suddenly jumps whenever she looks over and sees one of the taxidermied paracritters. And there is the closest thing to like it's just a very loud squeak. And she stares for a long moment, and then she relaxes. She processes what she's looking at.
yeah, I guess everybody could make a perception check again if they wanted to. Well,
Um,
except for Cecile.
Perception.
The seal's at least looking at the stuffed animals. Stuffed animals.
I got a 3. I got a 3, and Liz got a 1.
So, Ali, you notice that there's a strange that this woman that you've rescued, this Cecile character's there's a strange something strange about her, odd about her hands. It almost appears like as if there's been a color change under her skin around her fingertips. Grace,
Uh,
you don't notice it, but you do notice. I mean, you're enthralled or maybe appalled by the taxidermied roadrunners and mutated armadillos that are hanging on the wall.
you, college girl, you're a mage, right?
Yeah, sure.
And that would have something to do with what is occurring with your hands.
Uh, yeah. Don't worry about it.
I am worrying about it. That is my job to worry.
Cecile just crosses her arms and looks away.
If this is something that will pose a problem, I need to know it, unless you want it to become worse. And it will not
It
be
won't
me that
get
is
worse, and it's not a problem.
Kirsten.
Kirsten's starting to calm down. I mean, a bit of the adrenaline has faded out, and she's looking a little bit more subdued at this point. And she's some of the jovial, effervescent mood that she had outside and during the rescue is starting to fade a little bit. She wraps her jacket a little bit tighter around her to covers herself up a little bit, and she's looking at Cecile with a little bit of worry as well.
So this is not normal. I take it. All right. I understand that you don't want to talk about it, but at least tell me what is happening.
It's fine. It just happens sometimes.
Right. And does anything happen when this happens?
Look, don't worry about it.
I
Just
am worrying about it.
Cecile
As
just
I've
walks off.
Ollie, uh, that's uh, th- that's like it's like being sore after exercising, but for magic. That's what that is with her fingers. I'm pretty sure.
not a mage, I wouldn't know. All right.
Kirsten says, "All right, so what are we gonna do? Do you have a place for her to stay?"
You could come to
I.
Pines.
Mm, what is it like there? Surveillance, corporate presence, government presence?
None.
Hmm. Really?
Mm-hmm.
This is ideal, assuming you have a place to stay.
I'm sure one of the community members would be fine with taking her in.
Mm. I imagine this girl will have some manner of bounty or other monetary incentive for her. Well, I suppose it depends. We still don't know why she is wanted and by whom.
Kirsten says, "I don't know a lot. I can't really tell you where I got the information, but I saw the people who were coming to get her, and well, I knew by from the look of them who they were. But I can tell you that um, it is definitely a corporation that is after her."
Wonderful. All right. In that case, mm, your Pines community, what are the people like there? Are they
Um,
wage slaves?
no. I guess it it's honestly really similar to my village where I come from. Everyone works for everyone else, and of course, some of us have lives outside of Pines, but it's nice.
Communists. Lovely. Well, I thought you
Wait, what's a
communists.
communist?
It means you live in a commune.
Ah, okay.
And
Yeah, I guess that's what I am. I'm a communist.
Uh, at that point, the door opens and the orc walks in and says, "Well, I got them. I got the vehicles hidden." And he walks up to you guys and uh, looks over at Kirsten and says, "Well, by the way, my name's Mo. Um, would you guys like a drink? You're welcome to sit down. Take any of the booths. I'll go back behind the bar and get you a drink if you want."
uh, just making sure. Veronica, are you comfortable with this?
Yeah?
Okay, good. Um,
Cecile's not responding.
yes. Fuck it. Get me something you like.
Okay. He looks at Grace and says, "I can get you some water too for your horsey."
Uh, I don't suppose you have anything involving fruit? Not real fruit, of course.
Oh, I'm sure we do. There's usually some pineapple juice and some other orange juice. I
Uh, orange juice. Get us some orange juice.
Okay. And he saunters off towards the nonchalantly off towards the bar, and Kirsten looks over and says, "Fine, let's grab a seat while we talk this through."
Indeed. I do believe your friend will be able to stay with these communists. However, if that is not viable, I do have a place where she could stay and be secure. It is not comfortable per se, but it is secure and well, tolerable, I suppose. Mm, I suppose you should contact whoever you intend to, Nightingale.
Oh, okay. Um, Nightingale goes for her comlink with her magic and the stylus. I think she's going to seat herself while she does this, and she fumbles with it for a little while until she can text Miss Magnumfoot.
Okay, Mo comes back. He's got a pitcher of orange juice and several glasses, and he has a small stainless steel bowl with water in it that he puts down on the on the ground near Grace.
Oh, the juice was for her. I.
Oh, I see. What? The horse drinks orange juice?
The horse likes sweet things.
Oh, okay. He takes the pitcher and he just dumps the water unceremoniously on the floor and pours the orange juice into the.
Before he can even do that, Nightingale just takes the pitcher from him with her psychokinesis while she's still fussing with her comlink.
He he sort of jerks back and his hands go up to his shoulders and startled look on his face and okay, I yes, I did you guys want anything to drink?
As I said, get me something alcoholic that you like. Nothing too intense now.
Okay. And he not a little bit less nonchalantly hustles back towards the bar with a glance back over his shoulder.
Yeah, quite a swim.
Oh, I mean, Grace. Grace does kind of stare him down while he's walking. It's not really malicious. She's just kind of weirded out herself. It still is kind of weird having people treat you like that. She's going to go ahead and drink directly from the pitcher like an animal. Like take a glug or two and then go back to trying to text Miss Magnumfoot. Which she's going to do that now.
What would Miss Magnumfoot be doing on a mid Tuesday morning, late Tuesday morning?
Assuming she's not doing any shadows work, she's probably like tending to the community garden or helping with some project around town or watching cowboy movies. He
Oh,
watches his old cowboy movies.
oh, that's beautiful.
Are you texting her direct or calling her directly?
Texting.
Okay.
With more emojis, I assume.
Tree emojis.
The emoji. I'm going to text her. Hi, Miss Magnumfoot, Grace. And then delete that the Grace. I have someone who needs somewhere to go. They're not safe in Seattle. It's a human girl, like 20 something. It's kind of serious, but uh, we don't really have anywhere else for them to go outside of the city. It would be temporary, obviously, and then I'll send that
Okay. And Mo comes back with a
tree emoji. Send.
Mo comes back. He's got a pitcher of water and a pitcher of what looks like probably some kind of soy beer and some glasses and sets them tentatively on the table in front of you guys and then looks at Kirsten and says, so do you need anything else right now or should I just, you know what, I'll just go stand by the door and make sure nothing's going on. And he walks off and stays inside the door, but he's watching outside.
Mhm.
And you get a message back from Miss Magnumfoot almost immediately, and Miss Magnumfoot texts, "As long as you don't bring trouble to our doorstep, that will be fine."
I'll I will try to be studious in ensuring there's no way that they can track us off to Pines. Period send.
Mm.
She texts back, "Very
Thank
well.
you. Period send.
Just remember, this is our home, and if we bring trouble back here, it won't be our home anymore."
I know, Miss Magnumfoot. Nightingale sends another tree emoji.
And, and then you get the 4 tree emojis back from Miss Magnumfoot, which
Yes,
is
then.
sort of means affirmative, all good, go for it.
Ah, so beautiful. Yes, then.
Okay.
I did not suppose you would be willing to pay for Cecile's a good guide for Cecile I do feel that reusing these vehicles to take her out there would be something of a risk that we should not take.
Kirsten says, "Oh yeah, sure, I can do that.
Good.
I know a
Hey,
guy."
Nightingale stows her comlink in one of her pockets. Wait. I'm not taking my van back to Pines.
It is probably best if we leave both of our vehicles in a secure place for a little while and long enough for our trail to go at least a little more cold. Don't worry, you won't have to be hurt for too long.
Well, I
Honestly,
should probably get my stuff from my car. I like keep everything in there, including my camping supplies.
I, all right. Yeah, I'm going to miss my bike. So we have arranged that, assuming, of course, and she looks and she looks to Cecile that
What do you want?
Is Cecile sitting at the table, or is she had still wandered off on her own?
She's in the corner.
She's standing literally in the corner of an
Yes.
empty bar.
you, Cecile, university girl. I don't know, don't care. Look, we have somewhere safe for you to go, lay low for a little while until I have someone who can help, possibly with arranging a new identity
Hold
to
on. What was that part?
which part? The
A new
relocation?
identity?
Yes, we may need to make you something temporary or permanent, depending on who you pissed off.
How long am I going to have to stay with you? I haven't agreed to anything.
Mm, yes, but, well, you are aware of why people take on the gods to escort nobodies, or so you say, nobody, out the middle of a dock, nowhere, in other words.
Probably just a misunderstanding. My classmates probably played some kind of prank on me.
Yes,
Kirsten
well,
says, "I don't think this is a misunderstanding, Cecile."
look,
Clearly, it's a very serious one.
I don't care to get in your dirty laundry. However, whatever you did or have been accused of doing has clearly upset some people in powerful places. You cannot afford to trapeze along, especially in outfits like that, which are rather distinct.
Her outfit isn't actually that expensive.
Yeah, but to Boxer, it probably looks quite different. I mean, Boxer is comes from a blue collar part of town and has a very different backstory, lifestyle, upbringing than you do. So,
Right.
All you do is draw attention, so you're going to lay low, and you are going to become a new person, at least temporarily. Look, it's unfortunate. It's difficult. I get it. But it is also necessary. And unless you want to take another trip in the limousine with people who are going to be far, far less nice to you after you had an armed escape from them, well, I suggest you get to work on figuring out what you want your new name to be.
Lucille looks expectantly at Kirsten.
Kirsten looks back at you like, uh, "What? Me?" She's calling a grid guide.
Your friend hired us to help you, and that was what we are doing. We are helping you.
Kirsten blushes nervously. I don't know if I said hired.
Oh my god.
I was hoping this was sort of a favor, Boxer. You said that I could call you if I needed help."
Look,
Cecile now has her
the
Wait.
hands
very
on her
least,
head, like, oh, this idiot.
at the very least, I have to expend the fuel for my motorcycle, ammunition for my weapons. I may have to repair my body armor. Look,
Um,
these are not insignificant expenses associated with this. And furthermore, I'm a professional. I do not do this for fun. I require payment. Now, I understand if you cannot pay my normal rates. However, you will at least cover my expenses, which, if we are to involve getting her a new identity, will be notable.
Kirsten looks at Cecilia, says, she's got her hands up like, "Hey, And she says, Cecile, say something. I mean, we rescued you. I was helping you.
What you want me to put the bill for your hired goons?
I am
Goon.
not a goon.
Get used to it, hon. Goons.
Ah.
I haven't heard that one in a while. Thank you.
For all I know, I don't have any money anymore. Okay? My bank account was through Evo, so if they're trying to kill me, I don't know why they'd cash my checks.
That is
Well,
very unfortunate.
I'm not like you, Cecile. I don't have the big brain getting sponsored by corporate. I have to pay my own way. I work 2 jobs so that I can go to school. Why do you think I've always tired and don't have notes and I'm coming to you for help studying?
What, you think I don't have debt too?
Alright, Cecile, do you have anything you can liquidate?
Phil gives a look like, are you serious?
Look, this isn't just me requiring this. I have to pay for professionals to handle your problem.
Kirsten says, looks at
Unless, of course.
Boxer and says, I don't really have anything of value, but I do have some contacts and I can make an introduction for you that could be profitable for you, Boxer. And she looks around and the rest of this group. She looks at Grace and says, you rescued Cecile, so you have some skills, and I know people who are willing to pay for those skills, let's just say.
This may
Well,
be
if they're anything
new.
like these people, I'm sure they're lovely.
Why, thank you. I'm here all day.
You
Kirsten throws
asked
her a
me
dirty look.
to foot the bill or pawn my possessions after I got kidnapped. I don't. Ugh. Still
Your
just walks off.
possessions.
Can we please stop with the raised voices? Everyone, hey, I
She
understand
doesn't seem to
everything's really
understand.
stressful. I understand she doesn't understand. She seems a little out of it right now, but that makes sense. If you went through what she went through, you probably would be.
If I went through what she went through, it would be Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Ugh.
Cecile, your comlink rings.
Seal picks up immediately.
Boxer, give me a logic plus intuition check. Actually, Grace, you do too.
Logic plus intuition.
I don't actually care what the caller ID said. Cecile just doesn't want to be part of this conversation anymore.
4.
2.
So Grace is pretty certain that the fact that this Cecile person's comlink is still active is a very dangerous situation. Boxer, to a lesser extent, you are looking at Cecile with the comlink thinking, why does she still have her comlink on?
Wait,
Hey,
I have.
they're going to track you by that.
So, Cecile, you answer the comlink, and it is your roommate. What's your roommate's name?
Hold on. You got that paper?
Grace's
Right.
ears prick and swivel to focus on Cecile. I'm not sure if I'd be able to actually hear the conversation, but I have the equivalent of audio enhancement, which
Her
is
name is Seongmin Yoon.
Oh my god. Get her to turn it off. Actually off. Power. None.
Seongmin Yoon?
Seongmin Yoon. I'll text it to you.
Seongmin.
You want it off?
Seongmin.
Seongmin Yoon?
You
Okay.
said it yourself. You used the cracker.
Okay, so you answer, and it's your roommate.
I hadn't. Probably just by Yoon.
Okay. Do you hear her voice on the comlink? It sounds rather tense and nervous, and she says, "Cecile, what is happening? Where are you?"
Look, it's a long story. Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. They sent corpse security to our place. They
Boxer is
searched the
intervening. She's going
entire.
to take that comlink if she has to.
All right, I bet you it's going to be fisticuffs.
Yeah, and I know how that's going to go.
So you're going to try and grab the comlink out of Cecile's hand.
Yes.
All right.
Cecile does not let that happen.
So we're going to have to make an opposed test here.
All right, what, what are we rolling?
Agility plus strength seems like a reasonable.
Well, since I failed this roll,
That's weird. Oh, never mind.
Did you both get a 1?
Yes.
it's actually even. I guess Cecile just really wants to hang on to this comlink.
All right. So Boxer, you reached to grab the phone, and Cecile's apparently anticipated your action, and now you find yourself both struggling for the phone. And from the comlink, you still hear Yoon's voice saying, Cecile, what's going on? They threw the whole apartment. They've searched everything.
Yeah, look,
Turn
just call me
off
if anything happens.
comlink.
It's at that point that Nightingale intervenes with her own psychokinesis. She's risen from the booth, and she reaches out with her magic and tries to snatch it away from them too, while they fuss and fumble with it.
All right.
That would
Everybody
be
make another test.
effective strength would be willpower plus magic.
1. Nope.
Grace?
One,
wow.
2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hit.
11?
Yes, because it's willpower plus magic.
Jesus.
So Grace, you snatch the as the two of them are awkwardly tussling for the phone, trying to get control of it. You just snatch it out of Cecile's fingers, and it levitates through the air towards you.
She promptly snaps it in half and then dunks it
Ooh.
into the orange juice.
Oh.
Nothing happens. It's waterproof.
She snapped it in half.
Oh, no, you can't do that. It's pretty sturdy. Cecile did not invest in the cheap ass comlink.
Just turn it off. God, remove the battery if you have to.
Would
Cecile,
snapping it in half not work? Would I not be able to do that with psychokinesis?
you would have to make a damage test at least.
How do I do that?
Yeah.
If Cecile sees you start trying to do that somehow, she will engage you.
All right. You guys
Yeah.
roll initiative.
No, seriously? Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Uh,
I didn't roll properly.
Well,
God
I
damn
have the
it.
same one as I had before, so it works out.
Boop.
I'm going to put that down as 11.
Ooh, I forgot to send that to the turn tracker.
We can modify it.
There we go.
All right. So, Boxer, you've been reaching for this comlink. Cecile was struggling against you, and suddenly it was snatched from both of your hands by magic, and is now appears to be under the control of Grace.
Mhm.
What are you doing? Remember, you can hold actions too.
She's holding until after Nightingale acts one way or another, and using free action to say, turn it off, fully off, not just on standby, or remove the battery. And after that, holding action.
It doesn't have a battery.
How does...
Shadowrun. It's magic. Don't worry about it.
So, Cecile, make a what would you say? Make a logic and intuition test, or
Sure.
logic and intuition.
Logic plus intuition, that would be 3.
You recognize the validity of these people's concerns at this point. You weren't thinking about it earlier, but in light of the situation and having an active comm that is on file with the school and with Evo, I mean, you're aware of the validity of their concerns at this point.
Cecile immediately goes, turns it off. Just mentally. She also runs over to the horse at the start of her combat turn.
All right, so Nightingale, you see the comm link go dark.
I think if the screen goes dark, Nightingale isn't going to dunk it into the orange juice.
Okay. Any other action that you're going to take at this point?
Because it didn't break as easily as she was expecting, but now it's off. I think
Okay, so Kirsten goes next, and her action is basically just to slap her hand down on the table and say, "Cut it out, guys. We don't need this right now. We're in enough trouble if we're not fighting with it amongst ourselves." And Cecile, it's your turn.
Where is the comm link right now?
It's lying on the table.
Okay. In that case, once again, gonna cast a Force 2 Levitate, and then do a drain test, so I take 1 stun. It's going into her hand again.
She cannot let that thing go. All right, we can go out of. I take it we can go out of initiative at this point.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would imagine
Yes,
so.
the shortest combat in D&D.
So your roommate is fine, is what I heard. She's not in trouble. She's not in danger. If anything, that conversation she just had with her put her in
I
more
mean, I don't know
danger.
what corporate security is going to do. I don't know what's
Just
going on. No
just
one's
pointing it
explained
out.
anything to me. The first person that kidnapped me explained more than you all have.
You, Kirsten, have a sit down with her. Have a nice long talk, please. Explain everything. Answer her questions.
Me? I don't
I
know
can
any
see that
more
she's
than you guys do at this point.
yeah.
I didn't hire you.
You're the
I
one
don't
that
have any
hired
money.
us, and you know what I mean, and you
I
know
don't
more
know
about
anything.
Evo than I
I don't know
do.
anything. I know that I heard something. You guys are gonna make me say it, aren't you?
Yes, spit it out.
What?
I heard something from somebody who works in the court. I wasn't supposed to hear it.
Evil, then we are up against evil. Great.
At that point, Mo turns towards you guys and say, there looks to be a grid guide pulling into the parking lot."
Who?
A grid guide?
That would be for our associate here and my equine friend.
Where am I going? Are you taking me?
You're going somewhere more secure than a club and outside of the city, so you don't have to worry about whatever the hell evil is going to loose on you. So I recommend that you go with her.
Sorry,
Unless
where outside of the city?
it's some commune. She says it
Oh,
flippantly.
great, lovely.
Yeah, it actually is very nice. All of the people, very considerate. We just do things for one another, and most of us, we don't know each other. We haven't been there our entire lives, but it feels like home, like family. You
Great.
know?
So I'm going to be staying with a
I'm
bunch
sure
of
you'll fit
crazies in
right
the
in.
woods. This is just perfect, Kirsten.
Would you rather be dead, or would you rather spend time with me?
I
She
don't
gives
know
her a
who
look.
you are.
I am decidedly less pleasant than a bunch of hippies in the wood, if you're going to act like that.
Sure. Whatever. And Cecile just walks outside. She's done.
Kirsten just looks as exasperated. She looks over at Boxer and says, I'm sorry, but I will get you work. I will get you some contacts that will make you money.
That's acceptable.
And I owe you one. Eh.
Yay.
All right, what are you guys doing?
Cecile hasn't gotten in that car.
Alright, I think escort take her to whatever you arranged. Good. I need to talk to the police.
Okay. Just how is my
A little worse.
audio quality? Is it much different
Mostly the
from?
same. A bit.
Is it like noticeable? Oh, whatever. I'm going to step out with Cecile and try and gently herd her over to the grid guide. Saying, you can ask me any questions you have. I've lived in Pines for about a year now. I know quite a bit about the people there.
Look, I don't know you. I'm
Everything.
not going out of the city with you.
Well, what do you want to do then? What are you?
I don't know.
Well, see, there's an issue there because um, some rich people don't like you, and they operate in large part in the city.
The seal's just pacing back and forth now. She's not listening.
It's kind of a matter of I I don't like the word because it sounds very intense and severe, but survival, you know? I know that you're scared and you're confused, and that's okay. Your emotions are perfectly reasonable. Your situation is strenuous and strange. But for that exact reason, you have to be willing to trust others and to take leaps here. Because otherwise, if you play it safe, well, they have the keys to the safe world.
Cecile runs back inside and yells at Kirsten. Kirsten, get over here.
She huffs and flounces out of the booth and comes over to you.
Kirsten, what is our plan?
I don't have I don't have a plan. I just was gonna rescue. I just wanted to rescue you. What you do now, I can't. I don't know what to do. I can't take responsibility for you, Cecile. You've got to take responsibility for yourself.
Hey, why can't
Well,
I just lodge with you?
Oh no, 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 no. No, no. We're friends, but we're not that kind of friends.
Great. So you saved my life and now you're not giving me a place to stay, huh?
I You can't stay with me, Cecile. I'm sorry.
Ah,
it's for the best. Your friend is associated with where you came from. I have no doubt that they will be examining her. Best not have you be in the room when that happens. Look, if you
Exactly.
don't want to stay out in the middle of nowhere, you can stay with me. Well, I'm sure that does not exactly appeal to you, and you would have some greater measure of privacy with my equine associate. So it is your choice. If
her,
you
you, whatever. I don't care. Just, ugh.
Oh, uh, Nightingale brushes past Cecile's leg
Mo's
into a
standing
bar.
at the
Where
front
is
door. He's
Mo?
inside, but standing at the door, looking outside at the grid guide. Oh, it's
Hey, where'd you
back.
park my
There's
car?
a overhang where the loading docks are.
the horse just
Waiting for
talk,
him to realize. I'm sure he's been watching it this entire time, and he was
He's
probably surprised at first. It's like, okay,
he's sort of
sure.
studiously just staring outside. Um, the grid guide leaves.
Where exactly? Can you give me like an address that we can send the grid guide to so that I can get my stuff?
Oh, right. He
Oh, also the keys, pretty
sort of
please.
holds the keys out questioningly, like, "How are you going to take this?"
Nightingale takes it with her magic. It's consumed in this weird, what almost looks like a translucent blob of plasma, and she clusters it away in one of her
Okay.
pockets, and she
He's
says,
sweating a
"Thank
little
you."
bit, and he says, "Well, I can show you. We can get out to your car through the back door. Oh yes, it's just in
Is
behind
that
this
close?
building where the loading docks are, where we load our food and liquor shipments."
Oh yeah, let's go do that.
Okay, okay,
Would you be okay
yes.
helping me carry stuff?
He looks over at Kirsten. Kirsten just shrugs and shakes her head.
Thank you.
uh, Boxer, Boxer approaches Kirsten and she says, "All right. I don't suppose you have any cybersecurity skills?"
Who are you talking to? Me?
Yes, Kirsten. Or if you're near Kirsten, I guess you'd hear.
You're
But
talking to
she's
Cecile or Kirsten?
Kirsten. But if Cecile's nearby, well, she can interject.
Cecile doesn't.
No, I don't. I don't have any cybersecurity skills.
All right. I was hoping to make tracking us a little less easy. All right. Mm.
Yeah,
What are you asking? You want them to not be able to track us?
Yes, I enjoy not being in prison, and I imagine you enjoy not being dead.
Give me a tag eraser.
I gotta say.
Well, you do have one, don't you?
Not on me. I wasn't expecting this.
Ugh.
What? Do you think this is a video game and I carry everything with me?
At this point, Kirsten is standing close to Cecile and just reaches out and pats her on the shoulder and says, "Okay, okay, Cecile, be in touch." And she runs out the front door.
Wait, Kirsten.
She dumps into a grid guide and it leaves.
Alright.
So who are you? What's your deal?
Um,
What's
one
with
would
the
say
gas mask thing? Is that for intimidation purposes?
no, that is because I'm rather identifiable. And because I enjoy having
Wait, did
functional
Kirsty just take the
lungs.
grid guide?
I'm well
No,
aware of what the pollution in this city does.
the grid guide that you had called for Cecile left since nobody got into it. And
Damn.
Kirsten called her own grid guide.
Oh.
So Mo and Grace are walking back through the back behind the bar, through the kitchen area, and out to the through a back door. And there's a loading dock with a roof over it, sort of a lean-to style roof, and your van and Boxer's motorcycle are parked underneath of it.
I provide security of the unconventional and unofficial kind to this area and others.
Could you repeat that?
I provide, sorry, I provide security of the unconventional and unofficial kind to this area.
So, what, you shake people down? I don't.
No, I am not a common criminal.
Right, you're an uncommon criminal, of course.
Yes, and so are you.
I have done nothing illegal.
Yet.
Clearly, you've done something that warrants your apprehension by these people.
Ostensibly so, yeah.
Look, God, I hate this term. I am what people like to call a shadowrunner. I think it's a bit of an overblown term, but whatever, people recognize it.
Shadowrunner, criminal, it's all the same. I don't care what you call yourself. Can we just get out of here?
I assume you want to go with me and not my associate.
Yes, I would prefer that. You have arms.
I
heard that!
Chris, I
guess we can say at that point, Grace comes back with Mo, and she's loaded Mo up with a bunch of gear.
It is literally everything.
Yeah,
Just
so
about
Mo's got,
everything she owns.
backpack on and bags hanging off him. His arms are stacked full, so he can't barely see where he's going.
aw. Fine.
And Nightingale, she's doing some of her. I mean, Grace, she's doing some of her own part, carrying her stuff, but she's evidently appreciative to have a man to unload her burdens too. But she comes on up and she says, "Oh, so you're not going to be
No,
coming with
unfortunately
me,
not.
Cecil?
Fine. It's your choice.
That's fine."
Alright. Chris, you I don't suppose there's anything magical that has been done to her that would require your expertise.
Nightingale very promptly blinks in a senses, and astrally perceives and goes on to a sense. First Cecile, but then she'll also check herself a little bit.
Sure.
He's making a sensing roll.
I actually don't know if you can sense yourself.
I think you can.
Well, I wanted
I
to be
think you
able to.
can.
Is my instinct.
So
Is it half or more than half for
More
glitches?
than for a glitch. More than half for more than successes for
More than
glitch.
successes.
no successes for critical.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't glitch. So
Okay.
Cecile, aside from how's Cecile feeling right now? What's her emotional state?
Emotion? Annoyed, kind of panicking silently. Very tired.
So Grace, that's the aura you get from her. You don't see any spells on her. There's no astral tracking of her. She the woman Cecile does appear to be magically active, so she's not mundane. And you yourself are, there's nothing attached to you either. There are no spirits around at the moment, and there's nothing astrally perceiving, and there's nothing magically spellcasting wise been attached to you.
Okay. Gauging Cecile, can I tell what her
There's
magic
a
rating is
chart for
relative to me?
that.
There
I don't think
is.
2 is enough for that.
Sensing table. Hits 2. Presence and location of cyberware. Class of a magical subject. Environmental manipulation spell power focus. If you have seen the subject or before, you may recognize it regardless of physical disguises. For 1, state of subject's health. Emotional state, happy, sad, angry. What subject is mundane.
Okay, so I could tell that she is an aspected
Correct.
mage?
Uh,
Or is she just a
asterisk.
mage? Full mage?
Okay. You do not have enough to determine what her magic rating is at all.
So you guys are all, we're still suffering the effects of combat too, right, guys? So we've still got damage trackers.
Yes.
Yes.
So
How hurt is
She
Boxer
has
looking over
she has a
her?
lot of stun.
yeah, Boxer has 7 boxes of stun. Cecile has 2 boxes of stun.
No, wrong Cecile.
Wrong Cecile. Nightingale has 2 boxes of stun. Which Cecile am I supposed to be looking?
The normal Cecile, not the one with the picture.
Okay.
Cecile has 2 physical and 1 stunned. She's hurt.
Ow.
Yeah, so you're all 3 of you are looking somewhat the worse for the wear. Cecile's Boxer's carrying it more better because she's used to it or has experienced it before, but Cecile's looking quite run down as well. Her she's got the shoulder of her dress is or blouse is torn, and
No. She hasn't taken damage. She's just taken drain.
she's I thought her condition tracks as 2 physical.
Yes, but that's drain.
Well, your blouse is still torn. GM's prerogative. As you got dragged out of the car, your blouse caught on a sharp edge of a metal and was torn. Another inconvenience you can thank this whole situation for.
It's fine. She can fix it. In fact, I should note, in case any of you looked hard enough, Cecile is wearing real cotton.
Boxer would like literally not care.
Huh.
Boxer would probably wonder why, when there's so much better stuff to be had.
I mean,
Stuff
she can
that'll
appreciate
actually
a girl in
protect you
pretty
from
outfit.
gunfire. All right, it's up to you guys to
Um,
figure out what we're doing here.
So,
Oh, apparently Cecile is coming back with Boxer. Unfortunately
hmm,
for her,
yeah.
there's a safe house. It's not nice. It's rather decidedly less nice than Boxer's actual place, but it is more secure.
Mm.
Grace, are you guys? So what are you guys doing? Are you getting a plan together? Grace, times?
That's a great question. I don't actually know what to do here because the grid guide
It's
is
just
gone.
part of
How
your
much do
lifestyle
grid
cost.
guides typically cost?
Wow.
Oh, really?
No, it's just part
You
of
have a
your overall
subscription?
cost of living, which is sort of your lifestyle cost at the end of every month.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
That makes them a lot easier
definitely
to
not the kind of
use.
thing that I would want to track in minutia. But if your lifestyle was like squatter or homeless, then yes, you'd probably have to pay for it. But I don't think any of you guys are at that lifestyle.
I mean, now?
Yeah, technically Cecile is homeless at this point.
And it's okay.
Technically, Nightingale is a
Boxer
squatter.
can pick up the bill. She won't want to. You'll have to ask, but you can.
I'm going to do that because I don't have very much money. Though I kind of don't want to leave town now. If Cecile isn't coming with me, I
Yeah,
could do stuff still
I
in
suppose.
town.
You may want to lay low because you are rather
I
distinct,
don't
even
know
if
what
you
I'm
were
going to do.
invisible for the majority of that. Sorry. Wait, in what context are we talking? Right, in character. Sorry. You may want to lay low. Boxer, boxer. You may want to lay low, uh, Nightingale. I imagine that someone as distinct as you, even given a limited appearance, may be best served laying low. Well, there's a reason I kept my helmet on. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I
Mm.
know. So what I typically do is that I walk the streets invisible, or perhaps taking on the form of a dog. And I people watch. I listen to people. I listen to the sounds coming from people's homes.
That sounds
You hear a lot of
perfectly
interesting stuff
normal
happening.
and not worth mentioning. Anyhow, yes. Let's get you, Cecile, somewhere where it's a little less,
Mm.
a little more secure. Sure, if you
Can I come
want.
with?
Mm.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Would I be able to stay the
Do you
night?
want to stay with her? Actually, yes. We're all staying at. Yes, you can come with. I can't promise that it'll be comfortable though.
Oh,
Hmm?
I sleep
I
on a stack
am
of
not
hay.
worrying.
Don't worry about it. Wake up in the morning, gotta thank God. And go giggles. And anyway, we should probably call the grid guide so that Mo here. Yeah, he looks like he's about to break. He's just been standing there dutifully this
Yes,
entire time
yes.
with all of
And
that stuff in
Mo's
his
fine.
arms.
He's a big orc.
Boxer thoughtlessly just calls it up with an AR thingy.
All right, you're ordering a grid guide. Are you ordering manned or unmanned?
Oh, unmanned.
All right, it only takes about a minute before the. I take it you ordered a larger grid guide, a van or something,
Yes.
before the van pulls into the parking lot and the doors open and you guys climb in and Mo deposits the gear that he's got in the back of the van, and then he waves at you guys and says, "Well, say hello to Kirsten when you see her again. It was good to see her. Nice meeting you guys.
Yes, nice to meet you too. Have a good rest of your however long.
Come by anytime.
And go waves back.
Boxer only smiles at that.
We're a
Knowing
friendly bunch." He said, "We're a friendly bunch."
What did he say?
And then he heads off and locks the door. So the grid guide, Boxer, you're giving a destination to the grid guide.
Oh, that would be to the second lifestyle, which is the safe house. Sad, lumpy one.
Sad, lumpy one.
Sorry, that's just never mind. She's taking them to the safe house. Her safe house. She has one.
Okay.
Cat bed one.
All right. So where is cat bed one?
I imagine it's not in Auburn. It's like in one of the less pleasant areas. Not like what's it called? Redmond. Just like some industrial shithole.
Auburn is probably the industrial shithole. Well, it is, but you can also go to Puyallup or Tacoma's not great either. Tacoma's down by the docks, and it's pretty crappy too. But between Auburn, Puyallup, and Tacoma, Puyallup is probably the worst. It's basically a step below Redmond.
Yet below the Redmond Barrens.
Step above, sorry, wrong direction.
Well, they're going on a trip to a sketchy place.
The Topps Company, Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and/or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company, Inc. has granted permission to the Hard Knocks Sorority podcast to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and/or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with the Hard Knocks Sorority Podcast in any official capacity whatsoever.
The music for the Hard Knocks Sorority Podcast was written and performed by Trace Mineral. The Hard Knocks Sorority Podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons License 4.0, meaning you are welcome to use the material as long as you give us credit.